Okay, so I have my character here who's not very good at manufacturing. He's not really a manufacturing character. But I have had him working on a few things, and I may as well finally deliver these. Oh, out of range. Oh, I can't. I have to go up there. I have to go up to Dodixie. Can I cancel it? Oh. Because this is from, I don't know, 3 years ago? 4 years ago almost? Yeah. Guess I can't do it from here. Love the fireplace TV. Oh yeah, it's not turned on at the moment. The device I had playing the fireplace, the remote died, and it's not batteries. So I figured it out. All right, so station warehouse containers here. Had it, doing this, and okay. So, and then I didn't have enough stuff to deliver other things, and so let's see, what have we done here on this one? It's auto-targeting missiles, which we're using for the stuff. So, all right, how far away is this facility? It's 2 jumps. All right. Trying to think here of what's going to be the most efficient. I do want to take my jump freighter over and get whatever cans I can. And because I can't, they have to come over in a jump freighter. They are 100,000 cubic meters each, even when they are not assembled. Gee, you missed the game, but you don't have time for it. I understand. Yeah. So, I guess we have a raid. Tammy and Cowboy, thank you for the raid. All right, welcome. So we're doing a little bit of logistics work here is what's really happening. So I just transported a whole bunch of stuff, like a lot. And I've got just one more thing really that needs to be done because my organization is about to get insane levels. Because I've got all of this stuff to hand one of my other guys, and it's a crazy amount of stuff. And in fact, I should hand over all these blueprints as well, now that I'm thinking about it, to my other guy and everything. So, because I'm gonna take him to the manufacturing, and then I probably got some other resources in here. I don't know if they'll all fit. I might have to cargo expand out. But then I gotta get a Sino over there too. So yeah. Let's see here. All the manufacturing things. And see, these are manufacturing things. How heavy is that? Oh, that's... yeah, ship manufacturing stuff. Ship manufacturing stuff. Oh, and you're all gonna just gag on this. I think I'm probably gonna need to set up some PI out here, because stuff's just so hard to get. I can't just put buy orders up for the stuff out here, and PI is an important part of particular manufacturing. So, gosh, you know, I really hate the thought of it. But, you know, this guy here, he does have perfect planetary management. He also can fly all the ships needed for it and stuff. I actually don't know if the Spaceship Command, if I have the Upwell hauler and Upwell freighter. Let's see here. You know, maybe I want an Upwell hauler. Do I do reactions as well? So I will. And this is a completely new area for me. I have hated PI. And but I think that I'm going to need to do it. And you know, so I know they've made it easier with the templates. I guess what I feel like with PI, I'm just debating on whether or not I tell you this story about this or not. I don't even have Galante Freighter 5 on this character. What the hell? I just now noticed that. Oh man. That'd get me more space with my freighter. Do I have a bunch of free XP or SP? I don't. Okay. So, I want to tell you how much I hate planetary interaction in Eve. There's only one thing that I hate more than it, and I'm going to tell you about it. And that is being a librarian. So back in the day, I decided that, I was working for the government, and I was working server support. I was doing a bunch of optimization of automation and everything in server support for Department of Energy. And I ended up needing to fill in sometimes, because what I did was I learned all the positions so that I could, within the department, so that I could better make judgment about how to optimize things. And so with that optimization, it caused a few things to happen, but one of the jobs that I had to do was as a tape librarian. And nowadays they'd probably call it something other than tape librarian, because really it was the management of backups and the management of backups off-site. And so these days, when you make a backup and you want it to be off-site, you just send the data over to other servers in another location that is your off-site location, so that if something happens at your location, then you can restore the data from the off-site. That's what the whole theory is. Well, back in the day, you had to walk into these large tape silos, and it was like robots, and you would well, actually, you didn't walk into the silos too much. You had an interface on the front of them, but they looked like about the size of 5 or 6 refrigerators all put together. And so you would feed the tapes in for new blank tapes, and then it would put them into the spots that they go, and then it would spit out tapes, and those tapes needed to be sorted, and some of them would go to an offsite location, which at that point was Iron Mountain, and then the other tapes would go back into the pool of tapes to be used again in the future. But they needed to be cataloged, because you'd send your stuff offsite. That was your cold storage, and your hot storage would be in your racks. And so we had these things that looked like bookshelves, except they were made for tapes. And there were aisles and aisles of them, and they all had numbers, kind of like the Dewey Decimal System that they use in libraries. And they all had numbers, and they all had dates, and they had colors, and all this different things. And so this silo system would tell you where to file it, so that it would know where it was located at if you had to do a restore of something. And so I ended up with this push cart, which, had just all kinds of tapes on it, and it would give me a printout with a list. Nowadays you wouldn't do any of this. It's all just digital. You'd store it in different silos or different places or whatever. But digitally, you just send it over the internet. And so anyway, I would have to take all of these tapes, and I covered the position for somebody for 2 weeks. He gave me a day of training and then said, have at it. And he went on vacation for 2 weeks. The day of training was fine. Not a big deal or whatnot. First day doing it on my own. Okay. Figuring out a few other things, engaging my brain and stuff. But then when it got to the point of I had to go and continue doing this for the next couple of weeks, by the end of the time that I was done covering him, I was so brain dead from just filing tapes in a location and everything, and getting the other ones out and swapping everything around. It was very mundane. And it was not for me. Like when he came back, I gave him a hug, and I thanked him for coming back from vacation and said, I never want to do this again. And he was a really nice guy, very smart guy. But for him, this is what he liked doing. This was his jam. Not mine. It was his. And he just loved, being in charge of that, quality of his work and everything, not making any mistakes, always having the data, being the hero. Whenever somebody needed data restored, he could go get it done and everything. And me, it was the same thing over and over and over again, and it just was killing me. And that's why I don't like planetary interaction in Eve, because it's like the same thing over and over and over again, and that's all you do. And so it bores the crap out of me. I need variety in what I'm doing and everything. And that's part of why, like when I worked for the Department of Energy, I was both loved and hated. So I made our department very much more efficient. I removed a whole bunch of positions that weren't needed through automation and everything. And in the government, you don't lose your job if your job gets taken out from under you. You just get reassigned someplace else. And so I didn't take away anybody's jobs. they obviously didn't have to hire some people because I made this more efficient. And so, but some people really liked their cushy jobs. In government work, you get away with a lot of extra shit that you would never in the private sector. And so, some of them really enjoyed all of this extra free time they had doing their job. And when I eliminated those, then, I don't know, it was probably 3 or 4 months later, and I enjoyed all the variety of all of that. I got to say, all the variety of doing all the different stuff. But when I left 3 or 4 months later, they actually threw me a party. And I was kind of surprised because I hadn't been there very long, year or two, somewhere in that range. But they threw me a party and they had this cake. One side was black, one side was white. And the white side said, "Thanks for everything." And the black side said, "Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out." So anyway, it was interesting, right? Okay. So here, give me just a second here. All right, you guys want another story? I got one for you. I worked for the government for about 2 years. I did server support, did some cybersecurity, helped set up a lot of interesting systems. I worked really hard on the remote dial-in stuff, and I worked on the security of that, and I worked on, making things more efficient and stuff. But we had in government, which probably still exists, you have the people who are underperformers, and when you've been there long enough, they won't really fire you, typically. Maybe these days they will, but back then, they wouldn't. It's like, you're in for life. And so we'd have these people that underperform, and they would do just enough to get their job done. And I always looked at that and I'm like, I don't even get how this is even okay, because it's not okay. And it's our tax dollars that are paying for this stuff. Actually, in the Department of Energy, it is not your tax dollars paying for it. The Department of Energy actually is the only one in the government that actually creates funds that cover themselves, and the rates that they sell the power and all of the other stuff to at out wholesale to the power companies and everything is based upon how much it costs them to produce it. And it goes up and down that way. And your tax dollars actually do not have to fund the Department of Energy. The Department of Energy is the only one in the United States that funds itself. And but still, there is the government way of doing things and what people can get away with. So, we had people who got away with, half their day. They weren't even at their desk doing their work, but they got just enough work done that they flew under the radar. Nobody ever bothered them. Okay. So what about, like, if you do something that is not okay, like something that would get you fired at a regular job? And so, the comment earlier of somebody saying, well, if you don't do a good job, you get sent to Siberia. Well, it's actually true. And so I'll give you an example of that. And you're going to be in disbelief and ooh at the same time. And that is, we had a guy in our on our floor at our. He wasn't in my department, but he was in another apartment where we were all on the same floor of this building, and some of the women in the on the floor complained about their sweaters smelling like urine. And it was really a weird thing. And so, like, what's going on or whatnot. And so then what they found out is that someone had been going around and peeing on their sweaters. And so that was like, what the hell is going on here? So they did an investigation and they figured out who it was. And believe it or not, he did not get fired. He was peeing on women's sweaters in the department, and he didn't get fired. Instead, they said, like, okay, it's like, some sort of mental problem or whatnot, so he needs some therapy, so we're going to get him some therapy. Okay, but to me, this is like really, really way above the line. If that happened and I owned the company, the person would be gone instantly, and all the women would have brand new sweaters. I just, no, And so what did they do with the guy? They sent him out to a remote location that had only 2 people at it. Both were men. And that was how they solved the situation. So we affectionately called him the Sweater Wetter. True story. All right, let's get back to Eve. The world is crazy. Oh, yeah. This is the kind of shit where you see it on TV. That would be like a good Black Mirror episode or something like that. And you'd be like, oh, I saw it on Black Mirror, so that shit ain't true. Well, yeah, it was true. All right. Let me take this guy over to his over to the should make a YouTube for my crazy stories. How funny. Like, I already have a YouTube channel. We can just put it there. So, all right, I'm going to take this ship over to the site and take a look at what we have over there. It's one of my PvP ships.
Drive active.
This is a nutso fit. I don't know if... I don't think I designed this. Nah, I didn't design this. And I don't know why it has this in here. It really should have another brick or something like that so we can get more EHP. Because I ain't leaving the fight. Unless I were to run out of ammo or something. I got drones. Then maybe I'd try and leave the fight. The Eve won't load on a Steam Deck anymore? Are you sure about that? Did they change something?
Welcome to the Dragons.
Urox_CryptoBull just followed.
Urox, thank you for the follow. There is no NPC station in here. Alright, good to know. Yeah, Rafe, see if you can change the settings to lower the graphics level before you start it. I don't know much about playing on the Steam Deck, but that's what it seems to me would be the answer. The first thing I'd look at, and I've never used a Steam Deck, so I don't know. And Hecateka has some advice for you.
Docking request accepted.
All right, we have a couple of station warehouse containers here. Only 2. So I need to get this other stuff over here so that I can get some more made. How many days will it take to increase the manufacturing on this speed? 3 days. All right, let's start it. Get those all the way up. This one I'm not gonna put any, well, I don't know, can I get like a level 1? 3 minutes, 8 minutes, 20 minutes. Yeah, let's do like a 20-minute run. It's not very long, but it'll get me just a little bit more speed out of them so that I can do some more manufacturing. So I've got materials in here. I need to bring more in. It's not very much. All right. This guy here. Isn't this used for the 0-point condensate? Isn't it used for manufacturing? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Wow. So that stuff's like enormous, huh? All right, let's expand this puppy out. See, and here's the PI stuff. I don't know where to base that out of. And like the mechanical parts, these are used in industry for a whole bunch of stuff. This is used. Coolant is used. Construction blocks used? Oh, they are. Okay, is water used? Oh yeah, and the core temperature regulator blueprint. Okay. How about toxic metals? It's not. Okay. Ooh, we're almost full here. What about rocket fuel? Okay. What about oxygen? Oh, it is for fuel blocks. Okay. Well, that will make me full. Is there anything else I'd want to take instead? You can post a link, which might help. I may not look at it right now, but others may want to look at it. So, all right, we got a full load here. It's expanded out as far as I can go. I could get another level of freighter in it and get, I don't know how much per level of freighter, except it's level 5, so per skill level, 5% bonus to ship's cargo capacity. So it'd get me 16,000 more cubic meters. I'll just wait. I'll wait. Yeah, I do have skill points that are available to me, but I don't want to use them. Where am I going? Oh, just down the street. couple jumps. Let me I'm gonna take this guy over there. Oh, he doesn't have any more liquid ozone. Okay, do I have some here that I can share from my other guy? Yes. Now I have liquid ozone. This thing is much more efficient on the ozone, on how much it uses. how much it uses plus its shorter duration timeline. See about getting him over there. I've almost burned off my other jump timer, so that's good. Now this guy can't defend himself very well if he gets caught by anybody. So there's one system in the middle. Oh wait, that's not where we're going. Go. There's one system in between, so if I mean I got eyeballs in the other system, the likelihood there being trouble in there is, oh my god, it's a raid. First, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Oh my.
Doc Grandioso just followed.
Doc Grandioso and Busty, thank you for the follows. Welcome.
To the Dragons.
Busty_83 just followed.
Things are good. Hope you're all doing well.
Welcome.
We are in Stain.
787 Ensigns 7 just followed.
And I am about to jump the
CM
jump freighter
9001 just followed.
over to a
to the Dragons.
Too Tall Portland
production facility. So, is it Sins, CM, and Total Portland? Total Portland. Are you from Portland? I grew up in Portland, Oregon. That is. So, all right. Let's see here. There's a Sino at the fort. We are going to go to the Fort Sino location. So, best raid announcement ever. Yeah. You're in PDX. Cool. Yep. I grew up in Southeast Portland. Hawthorne. Yep. Now I'm a Florida man. So. Alright, so we're going to light this Sino and jump my guy over here. Oregon City. Yep. Willamette River. I know Oregon City well. I'm watching this show called The Abandons on Netflix. And it's kind of a little bit soapy Western. My wife likes it. But they're supposed to be somewhere out in Oregon. And they talk about sending marshals from Oregon City and stuff. Which Oregon City used to be the capital of Oregon at one point. Long time ago. So, blame it on the wife. Yeah, I wouldn't, I would never admit to a guilty pleasures type thing of watching a soap opera. Although, I did watch every episode of Jersey Shore. That's like a soap opera. So, alright. We're going to light a Sino here. And here we go. Shine bright. Undock. I saw a news article the other day picture of these couple guys that were like some band or something like that. And based on how they were dressed,
Skill training completed.
let's see here. Based on how they were dressed, I knew they were from Portland. Isn't that crazy? All right, made it here, safe and sound. There's nobody else in here, so I'm not going to worry too much about the jump timer.
Drive active.
We're just going to go. Ezra, hello? I'm in Null. I'm part of a soap. Yeah, well, you know, so I'm in Stain here, and I wouldn't say it's soapy at all. I'd say it's bloody. You know? So... And I stay out of the politics of things, so maybe that's why I don't see the soap. Saw a short that I got a Titan and sold it right away. I made money on it, and my timing was impeccable because was it a month or 6 weeks later? Pandemic Horde imploded on itself. And I may very well have lost that Titan, or it would have had to go into asset safety. So, you know, I got really lucky. There's nothing worse than a Titan going to asset safety. So, nothing worse than asset safety. So, for a Titan. Because, there's a big reason for that, is because the Titan then is at a station that it fits into
Welcome
through
to the
asset safety,
Dragons.
Garlic 76 just followed.
it will not be able to redock. And so you have to have a plan that when you undock with it, that you are out of there immediately. And so, yeah. Surely straight up losing it would be worse. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. So, have I seen the soft maps recently? Oh, I could reprocess it, though. Oh, my God. Heresy. I don't think reprocessing a Titan that you would get the amount of materials back from it that would be anywhere close to the value. I'll have to say I've never tried. I've never tried I've never tried reprocessing a yeah, I don't even want to try it on this. I don't even want to look because you can well, see, I'm sitting in the ship. It would tell me how much. Uh-oh. I got company. All right, let me undock this other guy. This guy I don't think is a threat, but I am gonna go and be ready
Welcome to the
to
Dragons.
react.
Just followed.
Drive active.
I see core probes out. Yeah, I think he's at exploring, but you know, this type of Sino is expensive. You bet I'd get 1,000 viewers if I set up a stream to do it, to recycle a Titan. Dude, it's just so wrong. Probably didn't need to come over here to offer him protection because his Sino is out now. But, you know, I did. All right, let's go back over to the manufacturing spot.
Warp drive active.
would be a waste. Yeah. So, I don't have another ship out here to look at. The closest thing that I've got to a Titan right now is probably my jump freighters or my carriers. I am going to build some supers out here, but I haven't quite figured out where I'm doing that at yet, how I'm doing that. But I do plan on that. I've got 4 super BPOs, so 1 for each empire. And 2 of them are fully trained, 2 of them are not. So, all right. We're going to do a trade. I'm going to hand him this stuff. Except I need to not hand him my fit. I need to pull the fit stuff out. There we go. All right.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Twitch Lizards just followed.
So, Root Blaze, Garlic, and Twitch Lizard, thank you for the follows. Right, so looks like a little bit of order is needed. And I don't know if I brought enough stuff over to make more. Oh, that's right. We had it working for 20 minutes on the thing here. We got 1.5 minutes. All right. So yeah, all this stuff, that's also materials for building things. And these are all materials for building things. And then I do not have a BPC box. I only have BPO and research. And here, let's see here. So the BPCs are going to stay in here. This is going to need to be researched. Here, let me... anything that has a number in front of it needs to be researched. The other ones, we'll have to measure them and see. Now all of a sudden I'm going to need to get rid of those 2 rogue jobs that I have in research. So I got this from a fire sale, and I think that I got it at like more than 50% off. So, all right, that needs research. What, are none of these researched? Oh my goodness. None of them are researched. What a shame. I mean, I didn't value any research time on them to, whenever I was evaluating. I just did their actual blueprint cost. None of these blueprints are researched. All right. So there we go. We can deliver this one. And then we can see if we can manufacture some. And all right, we can. How many can we make? Ooh. Ooh, nice. Ooh. I mean, I keep saying ooh, I know. 41 of them in 11 hours. Perfect. I'll have them for tomorrow. Thoughts on Frontiers? So I haven't played it yet. It shows a lot of promise, but I have not played it yet. I've watched Loru play it a little bit, and I think that that it could be very, very interesting. And I suspect that I may be playing it in the future, but at the same time, I'm like, I can wait for it to be more done, right? So that's where I stand with it. All right, so I can't get these two delivered. I'm just too far away. And so, which is a shame. And then out of these other blueprints I've got here. Oh, the horror, hello.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Math 67 just followed.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Jape Call 1V just followed.
J-Math and Jake Corley, thank you for the follows. So, oh, these are manufacturing jobs. God, my skills are so low on this stuff. Like, I don't even know if I can do any more. Let's see. Sinofield would be a very good candidate for. I can do 5. 17 days. Ooh. It's like. It's like, do I want to tie it up that long? I probably could just get some more skills on this. Well, it might even be faster if I had more skills. I don't know.
Welcome
I have
to
a
the
little bit of
Dragons.
free
Doomsick just
skill points. Yeah, I need my jump portal generation up higher. So I've got stuff in here to do more. I do have a manufacturing character that I am going to have probably live in this station. But you know, it's like I want to get something done. That character is not here yet, so. And I don't know if I have. Maybe I have a whole bunch that hasn't been redeemed here. Oh, I do. Look at all that. Oh, I have a lot of unredeemed skill points in here. Yeah. I should seriously be considering. We'll just pop in a standard. I don't have my other implant in, so I'll just use a standard. You only need the manufacturing implants at the time of starting the job, correct? Especially the ones that expire. Yeah, I don't think I have any expiring ones here, but I do have like these that I can claim. The others, I just wait until I need it, right? So Oh, and then I got these, and today is when it starts. You see here? You see that? You see this thing here? Today is when it starts. It starts doing a countdown on this.
BCH35102G just followed.
There will be a star that appears out here.
Welcome to the Dragons.
That'll be there for 2 weeks.
980 just followed.
Yesterday, this was not automating. And so it's going to count up all the way. And when it gets all the way up, the star will appear. The Yuli Star skins are very, very unique. This is actually from the pack that we have in our store right now. That's, I think, $50. It's very good value on the pack if you like the skins. So, you know, if you like the skins. If you don't give a shit, then, you know, what does it matter? Although even if you don't like the skins, the value is actually still good. It's just much better if you really like the skins. So, all right. Yeah, I really want this to get done. So, and I don't want to use extra skill points.
Welcome
if I get into a
Dragons.
pinch and I can't fly something,
Just followed.
that's what I save all the extra points for when I'm in a pinch and I'm really trying to do something and I can't do it. Like right now, do I really need to research these others? No.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Miller Young just followed.
Because I don't plan on, you know, doing any sort of manufacturing with any of those items yet, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. And oh, did I not start this? I thought I clicked start. I'm sure I clicked start. I didn't click start? I guess I didn't. Or there was something that stopped it. Like, one thing that happens if your system index changes from the time that you click on it to the time you hit start, then it will not start. And I don't think it tells you it didn't start. You just kind of have to notice. So it looks like my science jobs, I've got them all done now. So I just got distracted. That could be too. That never happens. There's never any squirrels around here. So, all right, this right here will be good because, you know, we use Sinos a lot around here. So, now my other character here, I don't think he has any other items around here. No, he doesn't. So he does have one thing that I want to pick up, and I don't know where exactly it is. Here it is. I have this, which looks to me to be incomplete, but it looks like there's an open spot here. This might have been a really old fit, so I'm going to have to evaluate this once I get it back. The Zamoros. And so, God, only 776 DPS with that. What the hell? 1864. God, that's wimpy. What am I missing here? This is on. Why has this got such wimpy DPS? I'll figure that out. It seems really low. This is sitting down here in Stain. And so And then he has another Black Ops too. He has a Sin, which probably have to go get. TI Siege Pops, T1 Siege Pops. Is that why what that one's set up for? And thank you for the super chat involves, much appreciated. Yeah, do the rigs like look like they need to be updated? Maybe, yeah. So anyway, I hate to say it, but I think that my character here is going to need to do PI. Gosh, just want to almost gag saying that. But this guy has planetary management. He's got it all. And so I wonder if this character has any PI ability. Because, if you set up one, you may as well set up more. So, no, not really. And what about this one? I'm sure she doesn't, but I'm going to look. Yeah, none. And then I do have one other character here she's done some manufacturing before. Maybe she would. Nope, none. All right. I suppose that, once I get something set up or whatnot, that they have the new system in there where you can replicate it. And so if, one character is not getting enough, then maybe I do more. Gosh, I just really hate the idea of doing it though. But I need the materials. I need the materials for the manufacturing I want to do. So I'm going to need to do the I need to do invention. I'm going to need to do reactions. I'm going to need to do PI. And PI with templates is pretty easy. Getting the command centers is not as easy. In the old days, we had this industrial pack, and it came with one or two of each of the facilities, the command centers. And so you could redeem it, and then it'd be in your redeem queue, and then you could just place it wherever you wanted. Does the Industrialist pack that's on CCP's site, does that have the stuff? There's a pack here. We stopped selling them. The Industrialist Career Pack. Industrialist Career Crate. What is in the industrialist career crate? Okay, let's go look in game. Industrialist. Oh, maybe is it? Maybe it's account bound. So, yeah, maybe it's account bound. We stopped selling those because, they just went so slow. But I still have a bunch of them. And that's why I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I can redeem it. But I don't know what's in the crate. It doesn't say. I could redeem one to my account and see, but I wouldn't want to redeem the crate. The info window doesn't say what's inside. Well, I couldn't even find it to see the info window. If it can't be traded on the market, I don't know how to look it up. You can search for anything. Let's see here. Special edition assets. Can I be traded or sold on the market? It's 4 cubic meters. I mean, I don't know if I've ever redeemed one of these before. There would be one per. I don't know. Maybe when I figure out what planets I want to use, I then could redeem one on that account and redeem one in the system that I want to put it in. I don't know. I really am not really not that excited about PI. And Upstate, if I want to just buy PI, you have it for sale in Amar. Yeah. The problem is getting it down here. So it's the transportation of it. And PI can be pretty bulky. So yeah, it's the transportation of it. So I think it's PI in the crate. Well, I think that it's potentially the command centers. But I don't know. Oh, and he's handing me a web page. It's just a PI thing. It's not, I don't know how that's relevant to what we're doing right here. So, yeah, you're gonna check. Yeah. Well, the other thing too is what they're 10,000 each. I mean, I do have a jump freighter, and I can ship stuff in from HiSec, so I can just buy them. They're not expensive. They're just large. And so, do they give an industrial's career crate on the AR program rewards? I don't know. Oh, they're 1,000 each? Even easier. So, yeah, I thought they were 10,000, but if they're 1,000 each, okay, even easier. So, yeah. All right. If you are watching on video, we'll see you in the next episode.